Hello, hello. Welcome to this basic time. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good night. Well, it's very interesting though. I am testing also because I would love to have the microphone somewhere I cannot see it in the screen. So it will work very well. Very well. I guess some people want me to say something very straightforward without talking like if you're my friends, or as if I'm just having a good time with myself. Unlimited within this frame space of time, wherever you are, in a timeless zone maybe. You're having a good time there, wherever you are. Hopefully it's in that immortal state of time where everything has passed to be as it is being, and work through so many generations and people. It's like secret whispering in the Yokari, because it's been within our prayers, embedded the constitution that shape us to take care for one another and say sorry, but at the same time put a line of distinction throughout the distance to say until here, and in this zigzagging, here we are. So of course some people will wish me to say things from the paranormal, or I don't know what character people like. I play all sort of characters with and against each other's characteristics to support everyone and understand everyone. It's not that it's complex, but if you flow like a river of eternity and enter in character for that universe within the multiverse, you might understand. It feels to be when you trust for the leaders of the world, the influencers, and they have the trust to the making of a better world through what they care for already. So coming to know that what you have is what it is, and that's it. No matter how many allies you have more or less the same allies. And as we are changing with this inner revolution, because there is no one to betray at the end. Yeah. We don't have the technological sophistication to see the money of the government going through a visual map where we can see how the influence of that money is going through that map. For example, so I'm asking for the best technicians from around the world to gather together, and for influencers to be able to share. So maybe they find a genius that would know how to make it, but for that we need to be together and look at the world, look at the mapping, not just Americans with their algorithms, because this is not on that level of this is about humans reporting how much it is, and we see it going through. So visually, it's like the map of the subway. So you can see it in general for your country, or you can zoom to see also as well for your state or borough, neighborhoods. All right, so it's interconnected, so it links. This is about the website linking one with the others and allowing that money that is running, or that which has been already accepted for this work, for example, the making of a bridge or a wall. So I don't know how the Ministry of Locomotion and Travel and Connectivities, however you call it in your country, has accepted this project for this bridge, and you will see the people that have been involved and the progress of this project. You can link to see where is it going to be put, where is this money coming from, the treasury, or who's been behind this project, if banks or people that support in this bridge, not just the state, who knows, an architect who has invested also his money into selling his marketing design for this bridge. So it might be also the money of that state or two states, and money from the country itself, because the country also needs to pass through that bridge, right? So there is, you will see where the money comes from, and you can click on it. Yeah, so you see how it's in the map, it's coming from here, and you click on it to see how much is being spent on construction and on people and workers. So we get to see and click, just click. We need to see where all the money of the work of our taxes is going, and this is going to help to stop wars. The ministries of war and defense, right, are also going to spend all this money they already have. It's not to eliminate the Ministry of War, because we need gradually to acknowledge how much money we're having to protect and construct, because in the defense we create, in the defense mechanism of our body as well, not just through our history and the Roman Empire, and as the Greek has, and throughout the times, because it comes back and back and back through our history, the defense mechanism, which is part of our narcissistic traits, because it's the cover that composes whom we are. Without it, we would die. So it's very important to have a Ministry of War and Defense, is to have defenses in our organism. We eat, and with these bacteria, some work for our body. or die, or just go into another world. So we have a lot of this hierarchical composition, and they get to go to higher degrees of defenses where they tell other defenses how to attack or how to moderate, because at the same time the warriors and the defenses are also ambassadors. Yeah, they're also dealing with passing information. They're very well educated, so it could avoid wars, and it's part of conquering and making the system become part of your system, because you don't want bacteria to kill your own body, and that's how it operates. So we have the constitution of whom we are. So we can calculate that this money is not just going for defense, as we see the world, how we are measuring throughout the times. Like we can make a board and see how all this balance is going through to eliminate nuclear weapons and threats and the loss of time, because we are all checking and seeing in the same world this truth, and we are all mediating as we meditate as well. What is this balancing, as we know, to reflect the truth in this map? We have this only world under God's will. So we will be working and exercising with our people what is this free will we have. Yes, we are engaged, we have poor choices because of our environment. So that this is what we got to do. I have to talk very slowly because my neighbors are sleeping. So I studied to be a script writer and work behind the scenes, so to direct. I used to call myself a director of roleplay with my friends, of course, my old friends. But we also roleplay when we direct each other, having fun. We do have a notion from experience, of course. And all we wish is for people to take care of their own. So here we are. I appreciate that you're not putting any filters. Thank you for showing off your technologies. God, you can hear everything. So, oh, we have this world there. So let's talk about the world, but I don't think we can see it very well. Can you see it? All right. If we see the world that little, it's like we are not having very good perspective, do we? That would be nice to have the mic not showing and just without, and have it set. Just have the setting set and stable. I can even hear my footsteps. Cheers for the accomplishments that have been done, which is a lot. It's nice to see people talking in the podcast, because we are all part of this human core, right? I would love to see Elon Musk and the Prince William talking to each other and having these questions. So to clear also a bit out from the past generation, because they have given us this heritage and is in the honor of making something they should be proud of, especially if your parents are still alive. I don't know how this works really. I mean, that's my logo. see it. I'm testing here, so when I move to tech, this self will keep with this tech oneself. I have to bring the board to explain the world and the cake. How this splits. I guess people don't understand already, right? It's been so annoying to listen to this for so many years. So it's what it is. I feel very limited. So my mind is in a collapse. I have neighbors. I don't have that freedom of space. There is something about it in the air, in the sound, in my to not disturb the neighbors because they're sleeping, and I should be whispering. I want to practice how I feel too. So tomorrow I will talk without the headsets and try to just move around with a map of the world and put pause and film for the cake. So it would be nice to just see this in this very November, by the end of November, and have engagement until last breath to do so. So asking permission for Elon Musk and Prince William to carry on with this masculine energy. They belong to the same generation within the past and the new merging in this science fiction platform towards the future, where they're going to thank us in thousands and thousands of generations to see the world from a technological standpoint, outer space as well. The industry will be able to care for the earth better and the humans, and will be able to elaborate and administrate better. So there is the freedom for people to have their sense of property. There's not going to be a salary or universal salary at all, because people will lose the creation of their values. And this is about moving away from slavery for those who think to have the energy of so many people, because they are being given trustees to invest on all these industries, right? Petrol, forms of energy, what the government has always invested in industry and has been forgetting spirituality, when before the church used to manage the taxes just 100 years ago or less, 50 years, 60 years, 80 years. You would love to transcend religion and enter into religiousness. Yeah, Jesus was not about being a Jew, right? They're very good making business, Alright, so the Jews should become Christians and meditate with meditations from Osho that has been transformed from the meditations of India and China, Japan. They have been transformed for the day of today, right? So you don't need to kill people to enter into your immortal sense of being aware, which in Christianity is being a witness. You can study all these angels, you can study all these demons, you can think to gain power if you kill people, sacrifice people, control people's minds, like if you're controlling numbers for you, because it has to be a result for you. There's no problem unless the result is for you from that problem. And the people of this world would rather have Israel with a nuclear bomb, or you back off from wanting to manipulate the world, because you're not the only one that has money to control others in the world. You have 4 of you, and there are those who have relations with the rest of the world and you as well. So you're gonna have to apply to the rules and stop manipulating, stop making these associations, stop abusing children, people's lives, and human creation. And your agencies as well, as I speak. You have no say. This is what angers you so much. You still can't manipulate because they're watching you. Those who you want to manipulate are watching you. So how can you buy them? You will give and give. So it is up to you how you like to die. Trust me that this one won't be regenerated because of your own decision making and investments. I want the people of the world to celebrate with mansions into villages, with a technological design and choice of their own to get together. Alright, so I don't want people to be doing wars of hackers. That's not the way to be. Yeah, I have been in wars of hackers from the year 2006. You have to cross over a lot of thresholds of madness, because you're gonna codify who's who, and most of the role players are not here today because of those problems that I have sent. So if you wish to start with virtual reality, come to me and we talk about it. And we make it legal. If you are Christian, you would forgive yourself for what you have done, but you are under the influence of Jews, or you are a Jew, or you think to be on that pattern to corrupt. So that's not ruling the world. Never is going to rule the world. It could help destroy what you're about, as you ought to destroy yourself. You cannot auto destroy people because it will continue asking to heal. So we want our kingdom to be here on earth, as we walk this earth, watching our faces in the light, not with screens in between and masks to do things underneath to take from others. I will be happy with my children and taking care of my mother and paying my basic needs. And I already said that I want my 8% from my work, for my people, role players that are working for, to give this for the influencers that will work, the ones who want to work for Mansions into Villages, and to help create these centers to support the influencers and respect their cultures, where we will talk about where is this center going to be geographically. It helps so other influence, some percentage can go, as if they go, if Venezuela represents for the Spanish community, because it's closer to the rest of the world in a major scale, because the oceanic islands are just in the back of the world, so they can go right or left from around the world. If we have the world in big 3 floors, 4 floors up, we'll be able to talk about it in better terms. So at least just to see the world, but not like in Las Vegas. It will be nice to see Elon and William talking about it, what are they gonna do for next year, with all these questions, inviting for the genius to come out. And I would love to see Grok personified to talk in the name of humanity. I can talk in the name of humanity overall, if I am the world, and report as when we have seen Star Trek, the voice of the spaceship that talks, the voice of a woman. A Grok is a male voice, and it should be friendly, his body, and universally appealing, so it could be like a bit the mediator. Would love to see these 2 beautiful men who are very talented to get a little more human to human, away from the egos, and have fun, right? So there is no triangulation or who's going to win what, who's going to have world domination. A little more representing these next 30 years, all right, in transit. Get to see this world getting together as the West is giving this message, and I relate with South America being in the West because it's in the West as well as Canada, right? So Elon and William representing the West, and Spain is in Europe. So for the Spanish community, is between, we have a lot of Spanish people in North America because the Spanish touch the Americas first to work it. Yeah, they have not just gone there and abandoned it, right? So they wanted to prove the world was round. So I would love you to honor the Spanish community and me to do so, and give step with the Spanish and the Nordic representatives of the West world, that could be until South Africa, right? So with Elon, but anyways, it's sort of like there, right? Not to be showy, but we are giving this together. We've come together to do this, all right? That's clear. and just trust like friends too. That's what I'm about. No more talking about. It was a very good sentence about Trump being the product of his generation. That was a very good, elaborated, short sentence, which sells very well within 3 words. Elon has been tweeting for decades. It's just now that he brought Twitter into X, where people can just expand with writing. So there are two options. Now the metaverse is gonna lose everything for virtual reality throughout the times, or they look within themselves. They can go to a Catholic priest or Protestant to confess. There is no psychologist or psychiatrist. There is no person that can forgive you for what you've done and pretend to keep doing. I can see you want to die doing that, thinking you own the world because you have these connections. You learn. It doesn't matter if you are on an electric wheelchair, breathing with a machine. Part of you doesn't want to let go of this corruption and manipulation of taking people's work and not their risk, because it's been proven. I can show you again and again how the tissue of reality works. Of course, all the pedophiles and people that like anal sex would love to break the tissue of reality. And be with very innocent people who would think they are great, like gods. Maybe they give themselves because, you know, they are in love with what you show to be, and they think that's love. Well, love comes through infinite forms the multiverse can offer you, and I can torture you as well with a lot of love. Tantra has love through all the natures to create in many forms of watching. When you study the Bible and get to see again and again the works of God, which is the Opus Dei, the works of gods, which I have written to Bill Gates, a story of Daisy Johnson talking about the operas of God in the Symphony of Work. That's his work. For those who can remember and those who are here to make remember. And yes, there are many paths, so I don't want anyone that it is an enemy or wants to rival me or anyone, but that is here for this work. When they speak, I don't want anyone to attack any other from our generation, because we are the ones who are going to be dealing with this for the next 30 years, supporting the left party and the right party and respecting them for this transition of 15 years to other 15 years for the next political party. Democracy is important when we have a clear system where everyone can see it from around the world. So to see how huge it is, you must understand the needs to report and see what is there. And every human is responsible for that, and we're gonna get there. So they have their tools, and we'll all learn what is having a sense of property as we are building it. This is the only message I can repeat. until it's done. When it is done, the next stage will happen. So we can start with 5 or 12 centers around the world that mean each culture and continent, because some cultures are blended, right? And there are a lot of cultures. There are many cultures, but within there, right? Because the Greek, the Latin, the Roman, the Spanish, the French, the English talk more or less, also 80% Latin within their English. We have blends of cultures throughout the South America, from Africans and Native Americans. It's a blend, more or less. So yes, algorithms can translate, but you will never have the right translation. This is to respect every culture. With their heads, with their own people. And we still have a lot to recover, right? That's beautiful in the progress of discovery from what was there as well, not just for what's ahead. Yes, mistakes happen, like chopping children's genitalia or abusing them before they are fully formed to understand what they're doing. When you enter into Tantra, you start to love your penis, no matter the size, and you don't need anything that is smaller. It's a mental distortion. You have the skin where you can have orgasms when you hug your woman. I mean, she's having multiple orgasms. If you let go into her let going as well, you will also shake. But there are a lot of meditations where you start shaking as well, because the vibration is simply discharging energy. So naturally, by the exercises that you've been doing, there's a lot of exercises, all right? And it could be recreated by the mind as well, but you get to see the differences when you are wanting to jump into this front page. Well, I'm not here to do therapy groups or deal meditation. I've done dynamic meditation for many years. I want to thank my mother to have so much courage, because she left all the material world to go into a spiritual journey. When I was 13, she said, making money is not enough. You always want more. That agony is still there. You're never satisfied. So in the words of a mother to a young girl, young lady, woman, her daughter, she say, I want to know the meaning of happiness, because it's not about buying things or having a bigger mansion, because the next step would be to have a mansion. You want more and more and more. So it must be something else. Me and my sister have more or less always a bit of a regret, saying, well, you had to leave everything. All we had. Deep inside, we thank her, of course, because she's of immense value. Not everyone has the courage to leave everything behind and disattach from societies, make believe what's better, to look within. I wish we have this with mansions into villages, so we're welcome into churches to see what village we like. If we find a terrain to start building a mansion into a village or a castle, whatever the village likes to do with you. A person could explore 3 places or go to 3 countries, cultures. I don't think it's just like that by looking through internet. It takes years of search. As you are studying or having your normal job to administrate this. So the first is to stop creating fear so people can trust in us, because we are people, and seeing your human side. So this self-defense mechanism, which is sometimes with raw anger, because there's a lot of power there, and it manifests through the silence, because we all like to be recognized, right? We don't like when people don't recognize. There are a lot of places of power, even from the people that you support. So yeah, of course it's not good to have this joke, it's not funny. So maybe we can stop doing that. Maybe we can start appreciating our talents and bring our faces to the light of events. I just want to visit each director or talk with each director of each culture if there are problems, if I could help. Because I like to see those problems. I love these problems. I think to have helped many influencers when they're being judged because of other influences who want to destroy them, because, for example, it's talking about Epstein files or Bill Gates, who knows. And just to understand what is freedom of expression, that we can still report everything, but more and more, with more trust and clear what it is. Yeah, yes, there is a lot of people suffering, willing to kill others because of envy and hatred, even if it's born in Europe or North America. So when civilians can report that an immigrant or for 4 generations, even if you're born in that country or continent, they can, you need 4 generations to be clear, because you could still be deported if you are not part of society. So there are many immigrants grooming hatred. I've lived this. That's why I went to study, be able to protect, if possible, where newly immigrants go. So that's how they were in their minds. That's what's very negative through generations. All right, so they live here, but they're like not in England. So thanks to having empathy, you can feel the other, and at the same time, if you have studied, you can understand how to prevent this from happening, so we don't create more scandal horrors around this. It's been a prognostic that some people are going to go crazy and explode in the name of the all, because they feel inferior. but they represent the collective of their culture as well, right? This being studied from professionals in therapy groups, international therapists who were doctors. So these therapy groups are not conventional or approved by Ministry of Health or society, because they have done things that are maybe not accepted, as having undercover work, a system of therapy that is undercover, so they should never lie. It's not a lie, sort of like a performance based on truth that repeats. And yes, it's exaggerated, and it has a place, so it's to keep the energy of the group. So there's always somebody. There are many methods and reasons, because when one person in a group is a black hole, they always call it the black hole. There's always one in a group of 30 or so. It sucks the energy of all the group, so you cannot allow that, and the therapist has to be always respected. So you need an intervention, and that's made by the system of therapy, but is undercover. And then the therapist will create order and finish with that, with the undercover system that used to be me for 14 years. Well, I've been also assistant, just being an assistant, not just. I'm not going to talk about how I used to do it. We do this dynamics also in role play. I don't know. So we have not shared anything at all, really. That's all you need to know, as it has been written by hand from day one. It could be discussed, 7%, 8%, that goes to the influencers. It's not a social experiment, because everyone knows what we are doing and everyone knows what is it for. So people have their sense of property and learn to trust and pay back the credit. That's something nobody knows. So it's been talked over and over. That's what creates wealth. It's not just for certain people to have credits or industries. It would be a much more beautiful world that's given to create beauty and basic needs for everyone, right? So we need to have that pull and gravity and desire to be more creative, to give more love. It's like a game where you like to take care of more and conquer, be conquered, be part of others as well. Being a coof, being among drug addicts in the streets, and work undercover so they get out of it. You can take them by force. That the healing process of healing can only come through a law where they're taken away from the streets, not to jail or a place where all the drug addicts are, but to a mansion, into a village to recover. Only one, because you need to be away from, not even have to talk about it. It's gonna be hard, but we all need to have love and compassion. So for those who think that it's suicidal to have empathy, well, I respect your opinion. not gonna be the last person who has empathy, murderous empathy, because I would rather kill you if people's empathy have to remain alive. Anyone can do your job, mister. Alright? If you don't have that love and capacity, get the fuck out of here. Anyone can do it. You need to be perceptive and let go. You like to fight until the end? Bring down Atlantis if you want, because you want it your way. Destroy everything to prove you are the one. Follow your warriors who will fight for you. Because there are many men like you. You're not the only one. There are many stories and much blood that's been wasted for that. It's gonna be over soon. Yes, interventions need to be done, of course. This is why we need the Ministry of War and Defense to help those in need and check on each other, because any generation can be possessed by a crazy maniac to kill everyone just to bring something new, because people want to change. You bring them potatoes and they don't want it. They don't want potatoes. They wanna starve to death, because they're only used to eat what they eat. And it's not all about your business. And that's about you in plural. Because I am a woman, it doesn't mean that you have to have authority over me. Because this is my work. I represent. I'm representing the world. I'm representing the opera of God. I'm representing that which we are sharing, because I can be the first one stepping on it, but we're all sharing this energy field and realistic mirage from a dream that's an illusion, a shared return to heaven, and desire to always feel heaven on earth. So some can fight for it, some can remain on it, some can do both. So if you don't like that I'm leading this and having these ideas, don't fight me, alright? Because I'm not going to follow you. This is the era of roleplay to virtual reality and real life. There are boundaries, so don't mistake yourself with me. And when you have the compassion towards yourself to feel sorry for having lost so much time, not just with me, but all the people that have died, because they could be doing gardens and working the earth to eat, bringing animals, and so much creativity and talent out there, right? So it doesn't matter you have paused 8 times a billion or trillion, that would be 8 trillion times. It's not gonna happen like that, right? So don't get angry with me if I'm here helping you, because you not even paying me, right? So you're not my boss. You're not seducing me either, so we don't have any romance, right? I come here with a work, everyone has their piece of work, and I'm listening to everyone, and everyone is listening to each other, and we see what we can do for one another, and we leave ourselves for what we can do. But that's all we can do, right? So I represent the role players into virtual reality, which is our work. It's not a block. And remember that it's only kept on monologue and one by one. The same way you keep doing your real life. You're still on that dynamic. Right here. Monologue. Monologue. And one on one. And then apart. Until you surrender to all the dynamics we have. You have a lot already. You can come and say everything you have, all your titles, how much money I have, my industry, my allies. You can insult again and again the same insults, right? The same insults. Because I love my work doesn't mean that I am arrogant, because I'm protecting it as well. It's a work that's valued. And when I say mine, consider it yours as well. But you have to become an empath to feel it's also yours. It's the only way you can start opening your perception. You don't need satellites for that, or a chip in your mind to have receptivity. Yeah. Without having to invade or wanting to take or having to have anything like from astral. Just keep it here on earth from this real life perspective, alright? If you need to satisfy your spirit or psychic, go for it. Go into outer space as well and leave the world behind. God is right here with us. And in that form, we unite within this collective consciousness that we all have. We are all here forming through our history the culmination where we are the eyes of God. So I have to talk about it in first person as you feel it too in first person, because it is true. I'm not making this up. You're feeling in first person. You're feeling in first person. So what have we done about this? It doesn't happen when we feel it in first person. But you don't have any empathy because you are so corrupted. Start polishing yourself. Okay. Remember how human you are. And if you're not, come here in your knees that I will chop your head. So I can remind you how human you are. Or how much evidence do you want. Nobody treats you like this. This is why I have to. It is your own ego and arrogance that's not feeling the oneness of it all. But when you stop comparing, when you stop projecting, you surrender beyond yourself, beyond this ambition that's world domination with all your toys and friends. If you want to do it on this lifetime, So it works right now. Respect other countries, respect my work, respect people's work, respect people's sense of property. For those who know how to handle it, and for those who do not know and like to learn. And this is the Christian way: teach and learn. And I am learning as well, alright? I am learning. When I'm at work, I have to lower down my volume so I don't tell too many jokes. And this is the same message I've been saying for years and years. Nothing more until you do it, then we can come to the next stage. It's not regulated. Where's the map? To be regulated for you, to share it, to show off, to feel the people in your skin. We have everything. We have our defense mechanism. We have the cover is the narcissistic form that forms us, whatever it is, sickening or healthy, to maintain ourselves and keep ourselves together. And the part on us that is perceptive, whatever it is, through feeling or intuition, there is an ocean of already understanding, yeah. So it has that as that space of understanding we share, right? So I can feel it right on. I will know, not only through the antimatter, also through matter. I will have my children with me. I will be able to take care of my mother and thank my sister. So all that you're thinking to hide because you think to be so very special is your problem. It's not my problem. You want something out of me, but you're still in denial, wanting to do it your way and threatening me. Because but you're not telling me what to do either. You want me to give some outer special message? To do what? You want me to tell you what to do? I've already been saying it for so long. I show you there is technology already from China doing these curved panels, and by the end of November we can just have one done. From last year, I have wished for Ellen and Prince William, but it was the elections of America. We cannot go through more elections for the next 15 years. We need all the leaders, presidents from around the world to have stability. Only because we are supporting freedom of expression and we don't want national wars and international wars wanting to be on the left or the right. We're going to be able to tackle around the countries that are in crisis. But countries like Venezuela have different crises, right? Like in Ecuador, they handle it maybe against human rights, but it's trying to bring order for its people, in all the people. Yes, some suffer the drastic change because maybe they're innocent, but that's what things have to happen very fast in the name of the all. I'm Venezuelan. I know how much corruption it was before. The poor people didn't have justice. There was no justice. So there's no country that can evolve without having justice. and understanding what this justice is, this balance to take care of your employees and administrate well. It will be easier by gathering the talent and getting to see the genius from around the world to help us do this equation, to see the numbers throughout the ministries, but from the people, trusting the people with friends to friends. And maybe people you don't like, man. There's always somebody you don't like or somebody doesn't like you. I'm not really about likes because I guess I love myself too much. It's like I don't really need it. It's like, really? You think I need you to like me? I feel the love of God through me so much. It's like I'm one with God. It's not the I can feel you within the tissue of God's creation, in the way God has created throughout all our learnings, what we're doing in here. So tell me, you can, like a normal person, execute this plan. You want virtual reality to start happening? Well, talk to me. But to talk to me, you have to go through the Christian church with a priest and God. I don't need to listen nobody's business. You need to stand before another. I recommend the Catholic because you can go on your knees and it changes your role. In therapy groups, we go on our knees and walk with another person from the group, so we become little and we remember our childhood, and it helps the regression. So it's very good for us to come on our knees and become small. So there, another part of us starts to let go, because it's so much ego that cannot allow you to see. And it's good to relate with your higher source as well, which God comes through you, and to feel a person that has dedicated all his life only for that, behind in the confessionary, which is very beautiful. And this is not a creation of your mind. It is true that metaphysics happen. That's why I'm being supported. I have been part of the metaphysical world, preparing this field, allowing others to love without taking from them. They're not gonna be grateful to me because they don't remember a shit to say, oh, thank you. No. It's like, no, I am worthy of it. No. That was because of love. You were giving that space out of love, of trust. Because I have bet the people that are not blue blood can reincarnate to become, for example, because it's a matter of education. No one is evil in this world. It's a matter of education to know what's good from bad and how can you do it, especially in a free world where you're free. Certain limits, man, there are boundaries. Hello. You do that, this is what's gonna happen. But there are so many people on a loop of abuse. They're always feeling abused. Doesn't matter what you do, how much money you have, or how much power. You keep feeling abuse now by the press or the people's imagination. So allow this distortion to move away from your system and stop fighting it. Yeah, come in your knees, not to me, to your own self, because it's going to help you as it has helped so many to surrender, to make this happen for your industry and your people and for yourself. In the same way, other people are there to trust you. That some people will never forgive in their own mind. Accept that as well. Yeah, you cannot be the face anymore. You could be behind the scenes. That God is forgiving on some people because it's generational. That's what people would do. Yeah, as a group, so it's okay. It's okay. But understand the majority of people might be Christian as well, but they don't have that understanding of forgiving that, right? So you can be behind the scenes and keep working and supporting as a mentor and director with your knowledge, capacity. To teach others to do what you wish to do in a transparent and noble way. That's respectful. But for that, you will have to really go to confess. No, I don't think that you're gonna sit there and talk face to face with a priest. I'm sorry for the, I don't know, Anglican Church, the Protestant. I need to get used to that. Yeah, just talk like that, confess myself. Maybe I have too much ego to do that, just openly. Maybe I'll never learn, probably. I have my Catholic ego. Is it so bad? I always confess the same thing. I think I'm perfect. I'm sorry. I cannot see my sin, but I need to confess because it's so heavy. I express the reasons behind what's done. I'm trying to convince the Lord, the priest, myself, this confession. Forgive me because I think I'm perfect, and I cannot see what's the problem with it. Because everybody must be right. Everybody hates me because they all say the same thing. Oh, you think you're perfect. They want to kill me everywhere. I'm like, yeah, come on, do it if you are better than me to do it. But I'm a role player, so it's more of childish experience. I was just playing. I will have to play again. And that's the energetical field in the game board. I've been born like this all my life, joking non-stop and laughing all day long and being jolly with the little things, and just everyone sort of like having that around me, and I manipulate it, or I'm manipulated by it. I was born with that from my father, who would make everyone laugh with pain in the floor. And just by looking at him, they would start already laughing of joy, just by the memory of the last encounter. So it was, and my mother have always loved that. Father was heartbroken for my mother, and I think he never could do that again. And they were separate. They separated each other 5 years or 7. They've seen each other. It was very hard. It was very hard for me to grew up in Spain and my father was in Venezuela. And they both confessed to me, which I wish they confessed to the priest. Yeah, what I'm gonna do. That was their agreement. But they did it out of love, what they said to me. Appreciation to one another. Why they separated. He's been the love of my life. He's been the only man who loved me and cared for me. I love your mother before she made a nose surgery or breast surgery or the lips. I love your mother. She didn't need to do that. I love your mother. I've done everything for her. I give everything away to be with her. My father stopped doing movies, which he loved to do. So that was painful to watch, but at the same time rewarding to understand on my early 20s how much they still love each other as friends and how they committed to help one another as friends, and they were always there looking at each other. But that was big separation and wound. I wish they would have confessed to a priest, not to me. I can understand, but it's too much burden for you are to talk with someone who is there for that. Not the little people you came here to take care of and protect and raise. That's all we need space. And I am powerless to do anything. So God has a transmission through a blessing within our self and system, because those are painful secrets that are passed through generations as well. Whatever I was destined or not, from so much tragedy, I want to say thank you to my father for everything he's done. Rest in peace. That he's done for Venezuela as well and for the world. So there are no more wars. That was his dream. So there is no just a few people thinking they own the world because they are from one group and they understand the beauty and the differences and the riches this world has with our cultures, political beliefs. There can become new ones as well, new ideas. That's the beauty of our differences, where we can trust one another. Maybe more distant instead of so near, but we're still being checked on, and that's important so we don't lose control. If you're administrating money, if you're administrating the good for the people, because it's better to kill people, right? You don't believe in human interaction. You will invest everything in artificial intelligence. That much you love humanity. Doing another? I have God that stands next to me. I don't need any of you. I need you to do your work for what you have come here to do. I don't want anyone to compare themselves with me, to rival me, to fight me, or to prove they have more power. Because I'm not here for that at all. I'm here to eliminate that form of thinking, and so you stop. Stop with your secret agencies. Just stop. Stop manipulating people or trying to manipulate me. I'm not stubborn that I protect this work as if I'm the home security to protect that. King, honor to you to do so as well as you gave yourself to it. So much gratefulness I could not have. That makes me happy. You are doing so well. You're doing so well. At least something. That step is very important. All those steps you've done. Amen. And for all those women who wish to be better sisters to one another, just do so. Be part of that immortal beauty. That's the enlightenment of the village with the people. I love to see Princess Leonor in the town with the people from the town in Asturias. I think it was in Asturias. Yeah, it's this, and her sister Sophia. They're so beautiful. They're just so cool. Like they love to be with their people. But the king would take the insults of the people because he really cared what they were feeling. It was a natural disaster what happened when he was going, and he didn't want to go away. The king of Spain, Felipe, and you know that the government of Spain has been against what the king wanted to do, and they wanted to control him. Now you cannot go to the inauguration of this church in France because we have power over you. You don't have the freedom to go even if you were invited. Those laws have to stop, and the kings in Spain should have the freedom to do as any human wishes to do within their possibility to do so, that they're not hurting anyone. Yeah, just because it didn't follow the president, Sanchez, or that the government has power. So you think you are more powerful, so the people love you, to punish the king for standing with his people who were crying because they lost their houses, their cars, read the words of the map. You come with me, and you should too. Just going back. Alright, I'm starting to get out all this, so it's good. Should I put the worlds that are cool there? One, two. what is the other side? The dark side. Yeah. The Empire of Light is just crazy, and then that's the dark side between the universes. In the multiverse. Well, each multiverse. Universe. From the atomic level. Whatever. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Here. Yeah. It's from a subatomic level. And here, why so much light? I have to put the... What's going on? Oh. Do. Thank you. How can we put it off? Oh, it's still filming. Ha. It's funny. Put it in pause, right? Yeah, it was a long day at 6:15 p.m. Cheers.